Kobe Bryant will be among this year's stellar Basketball Hall of Fame class, as well as greats like Tim Duncan and Kevin Garnett. Kobe won 5 NBA championships during his amazing career in LA. We are now joined by his teammate on all 5 of those title teams, LA Sparks head coach Derek Fisher, kind enough to join us. Derek, great to have you with us this morning. And I want to start right with Kobe. You guys both came into the league in 1996. What was your reaction as he got the call to the Hall?
Well, thanks for having me, first of all, and hopefully everybody's family is doing well and safe. Kobe, yeah, I mean, not a surprise that he got the call. I think we had an indication that at some point he would be in the Hall of Fame. Obviously, mixed emotions for many of us, almost the whole world in some ways, that he won't be here for the actual ceremony and enshrinement, but there's no doubt that this is what he was destined to be.
Derek, man, appreciate you being on the show. I'm not trying to, I know it's tough times for all of us with the coronavirus and everything else, but particularly for you when it comes to Kobe, the reason I bring this up is because so many people forget you were a teammate of his during all those championships. I want to know how have things been for you when it comes to you reflecting on the memory of Kobe Bryant and all that he brought to the game and meant to the game of basketball and to yourself as a friend.
Yeah, no, I appreciate the question, Stephen A. Always good to connect with you, man. It's been up and down, and one thing I want to say for sure is in no way can anything that I felt or feeling, compare in any way to what his family, Vanessa, the kids, his mom, dad, sisters, what they must be going through, and the other families that lost loved ones on that helicopter that day. It's been up and down. There have been days and moments where I feel inspired and motivated and energetic to keep moving on, to keep working on things that I was working on to be great at. And also things that I know were important to Kobe and he was working on in terms of young girls and women and being in the WNBA, et cetera. Wanting to do more, wanting to push the game forward more as much as possible. And then there are other days where it is a struggle, or there's somebody makes a comment about Kobe, or obviously they've been showing, old games of ours, and every time you look up, there's something Kobe related that sometimes makes it tough to accept the fact that he's not here. Makes me feel like I can hit him up when I see him, and that's just not the case. But I know he would want us all to keep pushing on and channel our, kind of inner toughness to keep being, who we are and try to be the best version of ourselves.
Coach, great to have you. When I think of those Laker championship teams that you were a part of, everyone obviously thinks Shaq and Kobe, the original, and then Kobe and Pau. But I think of guys like you and Rick Fox and Robert Horry, who had to sacrifice certain things in order to be part of a championship team, but were key pieces on championship teams.
Shaq and Kobe, I think, were as respectful to us in terms of valuing the contributions we gave. They allowed us to do the things that we were best doing to help the team. And even when we had moments where we got a chance to step up and make more plays and do more things, they very rarely ever made us feel like we didn't have a place to go out and hoop and play the game. I think as a coach now, it makes it hard on my players at times, and it's an area that I want to continue to step into. Is I'm just as obsessive about winning and about doing things the right way, and that there are no excuses for any player 1 through 12. If a guy like myself from Arkansas Little Rock can sneak into the first round and can play a major part on multiple championship teams, then there's no reason why you can't. There's anything that's preventing you from doing more and being better and making the shots when you need to and getting the stops when we need to. And that's something that I need to continue to channel my voice in saying in a very direct way. But those are things that come to mind, from a coaching standpoint, that everybody's capable of making a difference, regardless of who you are, where you were drafted.
Derek, talk to me about the LA Sparks for a second here. I mean, you were 23 and 12, 22 and 12, if I remember correctly, in your first year as a coach of the Sparks. I want you to talk to me about being an NBA coach and transitioning to the WNBA. What is that like for you? Why did you want to take on this? Why did you want to take on this challenge?
Well, I think in terms of NBA, WNBA, we typically compare men's and women's basketball, and I think they are completely different things, even though basketball is obviously the common denominator. The opportunity to coach basketball is a gift, whether it's men or women. And having another opportunity to get back on the sidelines after being fired in New York, that's an opportunity that I wanted. And I was excited to step into. I've been a Sparks fan for a long time, have major respect for so many players that have played the game and helped build the W, and also wanted to be a part of moving that forward. And really the challenge has just been, in 1 year, learning what it's like to be successful in the W, what you need to do, understanding the personnel, the coaching tendencies, the way the game is played, and having to adjust to that in my first year. I'm excited to get back at it going into my second year and what I think can be a great year for us once we actually get started. But I'm not looking at this any different than if I were coaching at any level, men, women, young boys, young girls. Like, my responsibility is to do the best I can do to push our team forward, give them a chance to be successful. And that's the way I'm looking at this. And I'm enjoying it so far. I really am.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus.